Watching the Animal Planet, maybe you saw a special they did called The Little Zoo That Could. Coming up on the 5th anniversary of Katrina, what a more appropriate person to talk to than the zookeeper who could. She's the actual director of the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo, Patty Hall. Patty, thanks for joining us today.
It's wonderful for the invitation.
You know, when we talk about The Little Zoo That Could, we're talking about, Katrina, how you had to do a total evacuation of every animal in your zoo. And is it true you took them all to your house?
That's true, but actually it started with Hurricane Ivan September 2004, and we evacuated 3 more times in 11 months, and Katrina we evacuated also. Totally.
And they all hung out at your house?
They all hung out at my house.
I sure hope you have photographs of that.
Oh, we do. It was like a 3-ring circus there instead of a zoo.
You know, the cool thing about most cities is that, and it's I almost say this almost as an indirect compliment, is that most people don't realize that you even have a zoo here.
That's right.
Am I right?
That's right.
And if you do find out there's a zoo, you got to go, because most zoos have overnight programs for kids. I know you're going to start one, but you also have zoo camp.
That's right. We have zoo camp that will begin shortly. It's usually the last full week of June. And then we also have what makes us a little bit different, because we're such a small zoo. During the summers, we have a lot of one-on-one animal encounters. People can go in.
I have that in New York City. I don't even ask for it.
When I left that area 15 years ago because of that. But we have baby tigers that people can actually spend time with. We have 3 baby wolves. We have 3 baby lemurs, and a whole exhibit of baby kangaroos that you get to go in and be part of the exhibit with the kangaroos.
And we're on the beach today, but the zoo is actually just a few blocks from here.
We're only a mile north of the zoo on the right-hand side.
Now, you know, I love it because it's radio, so we have to help everybody out. But you brought me some guests today.
I sure did. I brought you. He was born on June 4th. He's a little capuchin monkey. It was a first-time mother, and she was unable to feed it, so after about 15 hours it was time we had to pull him. So I always kid around and say...
Does he think you're the mother now?
Well, yeah, now I know why God doesn't give 60-year-old women newborn babies, because I've had to put a bottle in his mouth around the clock for the last 10 days.
So basically what you're saying is he's now hanging at your house too?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're out of control, Patty. And you have another friend here today.
Yes, I do. This is one of our baby red kangaroos still in a pouch that's called a little Joey. And this is another thing that comes from our Outback exhibit, that you can go in and kids get to hold the Joey and get their picture taken.
Now I have to dispel a myth here. Every time, you know, Qantas for years had the koala bear in their commercial, everybody thought, oh, what a cute little cuddly little bear. That koala bear will rip your face off.
Yes, he will. Just like this little guy will too in about another 2 years.
And just like that kangaroo will.
Yes, that is. They're always cute.
When he grows up, how big is he going to be?
Well, the males get to be 7 foot tall, and the females are between 5.5 and 6.5
So
feet.
that song, Waltzing Matilda, don't try this at home.
No, not at all.
Now, when you have zoo camp, what happens to the kids at zoo camp?
Everything is related around the animals, whether they're making enrichments for the animals that they get to give the animals. They actually feed produce. We have speakers come in and they learn about the native animals also, and we're also going to be helping with making the hair booms for the estuaries and the wetlands. For
part of the efforts right here in the Gulf.
Right. So,
are you already rescuing some animals?
Yes, we're receiving some, and it's going through the 800 hotline, and we're working with them.
What is that 800 hotline?
The the hotline is 866-557-1401, and that is for any oil or any animals that are in distress. To call that number first, and then it is dispatched to the different areas where people are calling from.
So I'm beginning to see a pattern here, Patty, that if I actually go out there and cover myself with oil, I'll end up at your house.
Yeah, probably on our doorstep.
See?
Yeah.
Will you feed me?
I certainly will.
Okay, I just want to make sure we got the concept here.
You got it.
All right.
We'll feed you.
All right, now, I have to ask the question on the zoo. Admission?
The admission is $10 for adults, and that does include tax, $8 for seniors, $7 for children, and children 2 and under are admitted free. And that admission is good for all day. All day long we have animal shows and these encounters, and so it's...
and you're a nonprofit?
And we are an Alabama nonprofit.
So who's helping you budget-wise in helping all these animals that have been impacted by the oil spill?
Well, at this point we've had so many people come to our doorstep and bring different supplies as far as money payment. Right now we're asking for none until we are totally involved. We're in the process of getting a building on our new zoo site that we're building to be sanctioned to be a triage center because it's only 4 miles up the road from here. So that should all the paperwork should be done by Monday, and we'll be receiving the birds up there.
Wow. I mean, and you've been here how long?
I moved down here from Connecticut, believe it or not, 16 years ago. Yeah. Well, I was born in Southern Ohio. But
okay, fine.
No, but I've been trying to get my husband far south, and when we had an opportunity, I got him as far south as I could get him, because he's in New York.
And for those people who don't think Alabama has a seacoast, we are in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
I'll tell you what, and we lived in the Caribbean for a number of years, and this coast compares with the white sands of the Caribbean.
Patty Hall, the director of the Alabama Gulf Coast Zoo. Thank you, Patty. And by the way, that music means we're out of time for the show this week. Got to thank Mike Worrell.